After being cheated on by his girlfriend multiple times, OP seems unable to let her go. But eventually, she pushes him too far. But how will his story end?
I met my on and off girlfriend Lily about 8 years ago. In fact, I was actually a friend of the family and cared for them all very much. She was 18 and in a relationship when she first messaged me, letting me know that she had a crush on me. And against my better judgment, we chatted for a few months, but it was nothing more than flirting. Ultimately, though, I ended up putting up some space between us and moving on. And a year or so later, I found out that she got a new boyfriend and even had a baby. After visiting Lily at her parents' home, she started messaging me again through Snapchat, and the new boyfriend seemingly didn't like me because he knew we were close friends prior to him coming into the picture. Lily ended up getting an apartment unit in the building I was staying in, all while having this Snapchat thing going on between us without her boyfriend knowing. She would delete me periodically, then re-add me when things were turbulent in their relationship. Like the last time, I stepped back because I didn't like sneaking around behind her partner's back. Eventually, she ended up kicking him out, and when she did, she reached out to me, and without wasting much time, we got into a relationship, and for the next year or so, we were practically living together. It was a crazy time, though, because most of it was spent partying like a degenerate. It was a pretty idle lifestyle. One night, she messaged me while she was with her friends, asking if I was still awake, but I didn't reply because I had no interest in partying. A month passes, and I get a message request on Facebook. Lo and behold, it was from Lily's ex-boyfriend. He sent me a picture of Lily naked in his bed, alongside him and their son. This was an absolutely brutal experience for me, but when I confronted her about it, she blamed it on the fact that we weren't official. I ended up getting over it because she begged and pleaded, talking about how badly she wants me and how much she loves me. And if I'm being honest, I do believe that, aside from all the cheating. But let's carry on. Our relationship continued, and I was trying to stay clean and get healthy, but she just kept drinking. There were even times when she got into fights with men and had crazy nights. I couldn't handle it anymore, so I walked away from it all. She ended up moving out of her place and in with her ex-boyfriend, but that's not where our story ends. 3 months later, we somehow started talking again, and I was feeling better than I'd ever felt. Before long, she left her ex-boyfriend for the second time to come and stay with me. We decided to give our relationship a serious shot. I moved us into a house, which is where the real nightmare started. While she was drunk, she physically assaulted me, and I can't stress to you how devastating this was. After the dust all settled, we decided to work through things and stay sober. But a few months later, she was wanting to have a drink, justifying it by saying, "A few drinks isn't too bad." Another month passes and she assaults me 2 more times, which resulted in me ending things for a second time. I had to give up the house, which led to both of us moving back in with our families. Fast forward almost 9 months, and I was drunk during a night of celebration, and I had a message come through to me on Snapchat, and you can probably already guess who it was. Anyway, this brings us to where I am today. I'd gone through some serious healing, found meditation and spirituality, and did some serious work on myself. I was so happy to have another chance with her, especially now that I was in a good place. Things were going great, and she was seemingly happy to have me back. One night by a fire, Lily mentioned inviting her best friend over to a shindig I was throwing. She also wanted to bring the people she was living with along, which included her friend's cousin, Darren, who she was sleeping with during our breakup. Just as a side note, Darren also had a girlfriend. After letting her know that bringing Darren to my place bugged me, I asked if she had any ties to him, to which she responded, "No." To be honest, it wasn't a big deal, and we got over it that night, but I still carried it with me in my subconscious. If we fast forward a few months, it brings us to last month when she wanted to have drinks for her brother's 18th birthday. Seeing as I was trying to stay sober, though, I decided to stay home. We got into a little bit of an argument that night, which led to her gaslighting me, saying I was like everybody else. But the truth is, she was making silly decisions I didn't like. Later that night, I was woken up by a text message from Lily asking if I was still awake, which immediately took me back to what happened in the past. I went to her apartment to check on her because she drove home drunk and got into an accident that saw a tire being ripped from the car. The thing is, though, when I got to her apartment, I found her passed out in bed with a toy. She'd passed out while the bath was running, so I quickly turned it off and noticed that her phone was in the trash. Feeling how I felt at the time, I couldn't help but check it, and the first thing I saw were 96 Snapchat messages from Darren, the guy she apparently had no ties with. This really cut me deep, as their messaging had been going on practically the whole time we were together. She also had messages from her friend's ex-boyfriend on Facebook, and she called him numerous times on various nights, including that night. The dialogue with this guy was very sexual and was going on before we started dating again. We broke up again, but this time our split only lasted for a week, as she begged and pleaded with me, saying that she didn't see a problem with what she did. Even now, she feels like she didn't do anything wrong. Recently, I've been trying to have nights apart from her, but whenever she goes home, my anxiety goes crazy. I really love this girl. I see all the traumas she's had, and I have a lot of empathy for her. I know that she loves me more than she's ever loved anyone else, and I've given her things that nobody else has been able to. The thing is, though, I'm wondering if it's enough. Can people change, or am I being stupid?
This isn't a relationship that's going to get better. The tears that OP's girlfriend sheds every time they go through a breakup mean nothing. If she genuinely wanted to be with OP and not hurt him in any way, she wouldn't be doing the things she's doing. If OP were to marry someone like this, I fully expect their marriage to break down. But hopefully, all that pain in the future can be avoided if OP walks away from this and finds someone more trustworthy. Anyway, before we head out, let's check out the comments section.
Richard's World again says, "This woman only loves you because you let her get away with cheating on multiple occasions, and you still take her back. She's a user and doesn't love you. Even if she says so, she only wants you as a stable figure in her life, someone she can always convince to take her back. It's time for you to say enough is enough. You need to go no contact with her, and tell her that you need to go no contact for your mental and probably physical health. I hope you're getting regular STD tests, because I'm sure she's not being faithful. Don't listen to her pleading, because she's already shown you that she's incapable of changing." Vandil says, "It's going to hurt, but you've known from day one that this was not going to ultimately make your life better. You only get one life, so you need to take some time off from relationships and work on yourself. From my experience, if you invest in yourself and don't look, someone that's good for you will come along." I used to subconsciously want to be with someone without even realizing how ingrained it was in my thought process. Wanting someone who's this damaged isn't good. You need to fully realize your self-worth and double down on it. It sounds like you keep trying to do that, but then a black hole sucks you back in. The work you do on yourself can't truly satisfy the needs of a black hole. It's their burden to bear, not yours. I'll end by saying this: you're not dumb. You're just a human having a rough human experience. But deep down, you know what you need to do to turn it around. Your story shows that. Suck up the pain of cutting off the dead weight, because while it sucks, the pain does go away. When you find the person you're supposed to be with, this is all just going to be a story in your life that you look back on and laugh at. You'll be happy while you're looking back, though, because you'll be living a dream that you'll appreciate even more because of the nightmare you escaped to get there. The OP responds with, "Yeah, man, I do feel like I have to be the hero. And I always try to guide her to take her own traumas on and heal. I've never seen any effort in the sense of self-growth and realization from her. It's like it's all swept under the rug and she learned from it, which I'm sure she has. But eventually it'll just come out again, so I feel like that's part of the looming anxiety on my end. I also know deep down being alone is what I need, but it's scary. More so than that, what keeps me trying is how broken she reacts to losing me and how she shows genuine hurt. The pain I see makes it so much harder, and that's what's kept me trying for her. The sincerity in her saying, 'Everyone always gives up on me.' hurts more than the idea of being alone. Again, deep down, I feel like I'm just trying to be the hero and will get stabbed in the back in the end, as I have multiple times.
The sooner OP drags himself out of this sorry relationship, the better. This isn't the kind of person you want to build a life with, unless you want it to end in ruin. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Coffee and Popcorn, and I can't wait to see you on the next one.